person who actually lived in the community who was on the RIOC board. So the community and specifically RIRA has worked very hard over the years to have more of a voice on the RIOC board. And one of the ways that we did that was when we did the recommendations many years ago, the first time, and we gave a slate to the governor as far as people who had been voted to be on the board. Even so, doing that, the governor at that time chose to put other than, or people that he wanted and did not follow how we recommended those people be put on the board. There were people who were voted very highly rated and did not get vetted and get to be on the board. So at best, what we're doing is giving our recommendations from the community, and I think that we are best suited to give a full 7-person representation of the community as far as who we, and give our voice who we would like to sit on the RIOC.
Scott, you have 2 minutes.
So one of the things I heard, first of all, I volunteered in the election and I had a great time doing that, and it was I was really happy to be a part of it. And I like that we're doing this and sending our voice to the governor. Second, I heard Mr. Polivi speak in the public session, and I know that if I were on the board and I didn't want to be on the board next time, I wouldn't want to be in this letter. But I also heard Joyce say that she notified everyone who was on the board that, you know, we were putting their name back again. And according to Joyce, Mr. Polivi got the same note as Lydia, Brian, Mark, Michael, and Eduardo. So I'm just a little, I guess it's like that part's a little tricky for me. Like he said, she said. I'm a little,
Right, well, you are on the speaker's list next, so Joyce.
Okay. The currently sitting representatives were given a letter indicating to them that this process was moving forward and they could participate. Okay? It did not say, if you don't participate, you're not going to be on it. Everybody who is sitting on that board remains on that board until they either resign or are removed by the governor. So by virtue of the fact that they're in that seat, we have to consider them. They're an option for the governor. I don't think you people recognize that fact. The other thing is, if you don't indicate the order in which these people were voted in, you're confusing the governor. Instead of having Lydia, who is the top vote getter, he can take somebody completely out of Roosevelt Island and he can say, no, I don't want Lydia, I'm going to stick them in that seat that the community would like for Lydia. So you must have the number in which they finished so that the governor knows who your priorities are. The community has spoken. They've told you who their priorities are. That's their voice, and we should be respecting it and reflecting it to the governor. Taking the order of preference off of that recommendation is not giving the community the right to make their voice known, and it enables the governor to randomly pick who he wants to stick anybody he wants in those seats.
All right, thank you. Dave?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a sentiment here. I have a sentiment for what Joyce is saying, that we should put forward as many as we can. But what we're up against is what trumps, oh my, you said that way. What takes priority? What we're really debating now is, are we faithful to the rule of law, meaning the procedures and the requirements that were stipulated to get onto the ballot, Or are we willing to forego that? That's basically the
Chief,
question.
Dave,
And Joyce has pointed to certain advantages of having a full Monty, the 7, to at least submit their names, and hopefully it will resonate, some of these names will resonate with the governor. So, I'm ambivalent here. I'm a procedural person, but I can also see the merits of putting forth all 7.
Okay, we have Melissa and then Joyce.
Thank you. I just want to be very clear that I was very much in support of a vote of anyone who put forth their own name for nomination for RIOC board. I participated in the vote, volunteered both nights, and was very happy to do so because I do think it's very important that we have a voice and tell the governor what it is that we would like. Again, to be clear, with my proposed amendment, Mr. Pauley and Mr. Kraut's name would be included if they would like them to be included. That is my clarification on both matters.
Right, Joyce, I'm gonna give you a minute, you've spoken a few times.
They do. I don't think you understand. Howard has indicated to me that he wants to remain on that board, okay? So this is not something that, Howard, do you remember the conversation that we had where you indicated that? Okay.
What about the other person?
David said nothing. And if
Okay.
David says nothing, we cannot assume that he doesn't want to be there.
It's not falling for shoe here.
Please finish.
Okay. The requirements for new people are not the same as the requirements for existing people. Existing people are there because they're there. They don't need to step up and show that they have an interest. They've demonstrated their interest. They're there. This is a referendum, folks. And in this referendum, you have to establish who doesn't want to be there, who knew people that want to be there. You have to enable those people to, you have to set a standard for which those new people can step forward, but you also have to include the people that are there simply out of the very virtue that they're there. They don't go away.
Thank you,
They only go away if you vote them away.
thank you. All right, so we're going to move to the resolution as amended. Just so you're, just amendment number 2,